Cheating is one of life's deepest betrayals, and it can shake the very foundation of your trust and self-worth. Whether you're dealing with infidelity in a relationship or dishonesty in another part of life, the emotions can be overwhelming. But what if you could navigate this storm with clarity and dignity? In today's video, we'll explore how Stoic principles can guide you through the pain of being cheated on, empowering you to reclaim your composure, focus on what truly matters, and rise above the situation. Let's dive in. Focus on what you can control. One of the fundamental teachings of Stoicism is distinguishing between what is within your control and what is not. In the context of cheating, this principle becomes a powerful anchor amidst emotional turmoil. The betrayal may feel like an uncontrollable wave crashing over you, but as Epictetus wisely reminds us, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. Cheating can make you feel powerless, but the Stoic perspective gives you an important reminder. While you may not be able to change what has happened or the choices of another person, you can control how you interpret the event, how you react, and how you move forward. This mindset allows you to reclaim agency and dignity in a situation where you might otherwise feel helpless. When faced with betrayal, it's easy to fixate on the things beyond your influence, obsessing over why it happened, replaying conversations, or trying to figure out things could have turned out differently. These thoughts consume valuable emotional energy and keep you tethered to the pain. Instead, the Stoics advise directing your energy toward what you can control. Focus on the actions that align with your values. For example, choose how you communicate your boundaries going forward. Decide whether the relationship aligns with your standards. Reflect on how you can protect your peace while processing the situation. Shifting your energy inward also means practicing self-discipline. Avoid falling into behaviors that might undermine your integrity, like lashing out, seeking revenge, or endlessly scrolling through their social media accounts. These actions feel validating in the moment, but they pull you away from the clarity and growth that Stoicism encourages. Fixating on things outside of your control, like the decisions or motivations of others, only amplifies feelings of anger, frustration, and helplessness. It leads to a cycle of resentment and suffering because you're investing energy in something you can't change. On the other hand, focusing on what you can control empowers you. It shifts the narrative from being a victim of the betrayal to someone who is reclaiming their agency. By grounding yourself in your own actions, thoughts, and decisions, you create a sense of stability, even in the most chaotic situations. As Epictetus emphasized, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. Focusing on your response also prevents the betrayal from defining you. Instead of allowing someone else's actions to dictate your emotional state, you choose to navigate the experience with strength, dignity, and purpose. Here's how to focus on what you can control when dealing with cheating. Acknowledge your emotions without becoming controlled by them. It's natural to feel anger, sadness, or betrayal after being cheated on. Stoicism doesn't ask you to suppress these emotions, but to process them constructively. Journaling, meditating, or confiding in someone you trust can help you sort through your feelings without letting them dictate your actions. Choose actions that reflect your values. Ask yourself, how do I want to show up in this moment? Focus on actions that align with who you aspire to be. Someone who is respectful, composed, and self-assured. Direct your energy toward healing and growth. Pour your energy into areas that nurture your well-being, like self-care routines, hobbies, or physical activities. Use this time to rediscover your strengths and regain clarity about what you want moving forward. Focusing on what you can control doesn't erase the hurt of betrayal, but it empowers you to navigate the pain with strength and dignity. It shifts your perspective from dwelling on the injustice to building a life that reflects your inner power and resilience. By practicing this principle, you create a solid foundation for healing while maintaining your sense of self-respect. As the Stoics teach, your peace of mind isn't dependent on others. It's within your control. Manage your emotions. Emotional regulation is at the heart of Stoic practice, and for good reason. Our emotions, if left unchecked, can lead us down destructive paths. When betrayed by someone we trust, the hurt, anger, and even humiliation can feel insurmountable. The initial reaction is often to lash out, confront the person, or sink into despair. However, as Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Managing your emotions isn't about ignoring or suppressing your feelings. It's about pausing, reflecting, and ensuring your reactions align with your values. This principle empowers you to handle betrayal with composure and self-respect rather than allowing the pain to dictate your actions. When you're faced with betrayal, emotional regulation might feel impossible in the heat of the moment. Imagine finding out someone you love has betrayed you. Your instinct might be to yell, cry, or even retaliate immediately. While these reactions are understandable, they often fuel more chaos and regret. Stoic practice encourages a different approach. Step away from the situation, avoid impulsively reacting. Give yourself the space and time to let the initial emotional storm subside. Acknowledge your emotions. Recognize the anger, sadness, or betrayal for what it is, a natural human response. Naming your emotions can reduce their intensity. Ground yourself. Use breathing exercises or techniques like writing down your thoughts to regain a sense of calm. For instance, journaling about how you feel can provide clarity and a constructive outlet. Managing your emotions doesn't mean dismissing your pain. It's about channeling that energy into purposeful actions rather than reactive ones. This prevents short-term emotional outbursts from escalating into long-term consequences, such as damaged relationships, regret, or feelings of shame. When you don't manage your emotions, you risk losing control of the situation and yourself. Rash decisions made in moments of emotional vulnerability can lead to actions you might later regret, such as sending impulsive messages, seeking revenge, or compromising your integrity. By maintaining emotional composure, you demonstrate a higher level of self-mastery. Stoicism teaches that external circumstances, such as betrayal, don't define us. It's how we respond that shapes our character. Practicing emotional regulation allows you to face adversity with dignity and strength, emerging as a person who is not controlled by circumstances, but instead guided by reason and self-awareness. Additionally, emotions like anger or resentment can cloud your ability to make decisions that align with your best interests. When you respond calmly, you preserve the mental clarity needed to assess the situation objectively and move forward constructively. Here's how to apply this principle. Pause before reacting. When confronted with the knowledge of betrayal, resist the urge to respond immediately. Give yourself time, a few hours, a day, or even longer, to process your feelings before engaging with the other person or taking any action. A clear head ensures a response that reflects your values rather than emotional impulses. Practice stoic reflection. Take inspiration from Marcus Aurelius, who reflected daily to make sense of his challenges. Spend time journaling your thoughts, noting both the intensity of your emotions and what they might be teaching you. Reflection offers perspective, helping you separate what truly matters from what is fleeting. Engage in calming practices. Emotional storms can be calmed with grounding techniques. Breathing exercises. Focus on your breath for a few minutes to quiet the mind. Mindfulness. Use practices like meditation to bring yourself back to the present moment. Question your emotional triggers. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? What about this situation is triggering such a strong reaction? Breaking down your emotional response can help you better understand it and detach from it. Avoid emotional amplifiers. Limit actions that could heighten your emotions, like endlessly replaying the betrayal in your head or discussing it with people who encourage reactive responses. Seek out calm, neutral friends or mentors who can offer perspective without feeding into the emotional turmoil. Managing your emotions during betrayal is a profound act of self-respect and personal power. Stoicism teaches that our reactions, not external circumstances, determine the quality of our lives. By pausing, reflecting, and responding with clarity, you embody this principle, protecting your dignity and fostering inner peace. Betrayal doesn't have to define you. Your calm and composed response is what truly showcases your strength. Accept the reality. Acceptance is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, rooted in the understanding that life is full of uncertainties and adversities. When faced with betrayal, it's natural to question why it happened or attempt to rewrite the past. However, the Stoics remind us that resistance to reality only amplifies our suffering. Instead of fixating on why, they teach us to focus on what is. This concept aligns with the Stoic idea of amor fati, loving your fate, no matter how challenging. Seneca once said, "To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden." Acceptance doesn't mean condoning the betrayal or overlooking the hurt it caused. Instead, it empowers you to acknowledge the situation for what it is and ask the most important question: what can I learn from this? In the wake of betrayal, refusing to accept reality might manifest as denial or endless rumination. Denial: you convince yourself it wasn't that serious or that things might magically go back to how they were. Rumination: you obsess over the betrayal, replaying it in your mind, dissecting every detail, and wondering how things could have been different. Acceptance is the antidote to this cycle. It looks like this: acknowledging that the betrayal has happened and is part of your story now, whether you like it or not. Allowing yourself to feel the pain and process it without resistance. Choosing to stop searching for answers to unanswerable questions, such as, why did they do this? Reframing the betrayal as an event that, while painful, has the potential to teach you something valuable about yourself, your boundaries, and what you deserve. Accepting reality might feel like giving up, but in truth, it is a powerful act of self-liberation. When we refuse to accept what has already occurred, we remain trapped in a loop of resentment, regret, and frustration. Stoicism emphasizes that suffering doesn't come from external events, but from our interpretation of them. When you accept the situation for what it is, you, and the struggle with the past, no amount of mental effort can undo the betrayal. Letting go of the illusion of control over the past frees your energy for the present. Gain clarity. Acceptance provides the mental space needed to see things clearly and plan your next steps. Instead of reacting impulsively, you act with purpose. Reclaim your power. The act of accepting reality allows you to focus on what is within your control: your response, your emotions, and your future choices. Stoicism views acceptance not as weakness, but as a courageous and rational response to life's inevitable challenges. How to apply this principle? Practice radical honesty with yourself. Take a quiet moment to confront the situation head-on. Write it down, say it out loud, or meditate on it. For instance, tell yourself, this betrayal happened. It's painful, but I accept it as part of my life now. Acknowledging it directly is a powerful first step toward moving forward. Let go of what-if thinking. Stop replaying scenarios in your mind like, what if I acted differently? Or, what if they hadn't done this? Instead, remind yourself that dwelling on the past doesn't change it. Seneca put it simply, what has happened cannot be undone, but you can choose how to move forward. Find meaning in the experience. Ask yourself, what is this situation teaching me? Betrayal often highlights areas where boundaries were lacking or priorities were misaligned. Use this knowledge to grow stronger, set clearer expectations for future relationships, and reinforce your sense of self-worth. Detach from blame and judgment. This doesn't mean excusing the betrayal. It means recognizing that blame and judgment keep you emotionally tied to the situation. Instead of labeling the other person or yourself in overly negative terms, focus on the facts and what they've revealed about the dynamics in the relationship. Meditate on amor fati. Reflect on the concept of loving your fate, even when it's painful. This doesn't mean celebrating betrayal, but finding a way to embrace it as part of your unique journey. Consider journaling. How can this experience contribute to my growth, resilience, or understanding of life? Acceptance is not about forgetting or forgiving instantly. It's about acknowledging reality without resistance. By practicing amor fati and reframing the betrayal as part of your story, you turn a painful experience into a stepping stone for growth. As a Stoic, you have the power to rise above what has happened, maintain your dignity, and move forward with clarity and purpose. Remember, the past cannot change, but your response to it can define your future. Hold on to your integrity. Betrayal can shake you to your core, challenging not only your trust in others, but also your sense of self. In the heat of such emotional distress, It's easy to compromise your character by responding with anger, revenge, or impulsive actions. However, Stoic philosophy reminds us that our integrity, our adherence to our own values, is one of the few things in life we truly control. Epictetus aptly warned, "Be careful whom you associate with. Avoid those who make you worse." In other words, don't allow someone else's poor behavior to drag you into actions or choices that undermine your sense of honor. Staying true to your values, especially in moments of adversity, demonstrates strength and reinforces your dignity. After being betrayed, the initial impulse might be to lash out. Perhaps you want to confront the person in an emotionally charged moment, seek revenge, or share what happened with others in an attempt to shift blame or garner sympathy. While these reactions are common, they often pull you further from the inner peace Stoicism advocates. Holding on to your integrity looks like choosing to act calmly and rationally rather than reacting emotionally, opting for silence or a measured response rather than venting anger in ways that might escalate the situation, setting and maintaining healthy boundaries that reflect your self-respect, making decisions about the relationship based on your values rather than from a place of pain or resentment. This doesn't mean becoming passive or allowing others to mistreat you. Stoicism encourages assertiveness rooted in principle, ensuring that even in your most challenging moments, you act in alignment with your highest self. Stoicism views integrity as a cornerstone of personal freedom. When you act in alignment with your values, you remain true to yourself and maintain a sense of internal coherence. Compromising your character in response to betrayal, on the other hand, only leads to regret and internal conflict. Why is this especially important in the context of betrayal? It defines your legacy. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." If you stoop to the level of deceit, cruelty, or pettiness, you become what you detest. Instead, focus on living in a way that demonstrates dignity and self-respect, ensuring that your actions reflect your true nature rather than a reaction to someone else's flaws. It prevents long-term regret. Emotional responses in the moment, such as revenge or angry confrontations, may feel satisfying initially, but they often lead to feelings of guilt or shame later on. Integrity provides you with a steady compass, guiding you toward actions you can be proud of in the long run. It demonstrates strength, not weakness. Walking away with your dignity intact is a far greater show of strength than allowing someone else's behavior to dictate your own. This strength doesn't go unnoticed and helps you rebuild trust in yourself. How to apply this principle? Commit to responding, not reacting. Before taking any action, pause and reflect on your values. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be in this moment? Use this as a guide to shape your next steps. Set clear boundaries. Acting with integrity doesn't mean tolerating mistreatment. Define your limits clearly and communicate them calmly but firmly. Whether this involves cutting contact, ending the relationship, or reassessing its terms, do so with grace and intention. Avoid petty reactions. Don't stoop to behaviors that compromise your character, such as gossiping about the person, sending hurtful messages, or seeking revenge. These actions not only pull you away from your dignity, but also give the other person undue power over your emotional state. Seek support without betraying your values. It's natural to want to share your experience, but choose trusted individuals who will listen without fueling unnecessary conflict. Venting to the wrong people can lead to actions or words you might later regret. Shift focus to your growth. Instead of dwelling on what the other person did wrong, use this moment to reinforce your own standards. Explore questions like, what lessons can I learn from this? And how can this challenge strengthen my character? Redirecting your energy towards self-improvement helps you reclaim control. When betrayal tests your resolve, holding onto your integrity becomes your greatest act of defiance. Acting with dignity and self-respect not only protects your peace, but also sends a powerful message to yourself and others. No external circumstance will make you compromise your values. As Marcus Aurelius taught, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Maintain your integrity, and you'll walk away from any challenge with your head held high. Practice forgiveness. For your own sake. Forgiveness is a principle deeply rooted in Stoicism, but it's also one of the hardest to practice, especially in the face of betrayal. Many misunderstand forgiveness as condoning the act or absolving the person who wronged us, but this isn't the Stoic interpretation. For the Stoics, forgiveness is an act of self-liberation. It's about refusing to allow resentment and anger to occupy your thoughts and dictate your actions. Marcus Aurelius famously wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." This underscores the Stoic view. Forgiveness is not about erasing accountability, but about reclaiming your emotional freedom and acting with reason rather than spite. What it looks like in practice. Practicing forgiveness after betrayal is no small feat. In the immediate aftermath, your feelings of hurt, anger, and betrayal may consume you. The natural reaction might be to dwell on the offense, replaying it over and over in your mind or harboring thoughts of vengeance. Stoicism challenges this instinct by reframing forgiveness as an act of strength and self-care. Forgiveness in practice involves releasing grudges. Instead of clinging to anger, you acknowledge the hurt but let go of the need to punish or carry resentment. Focusing inward, understanding that holding on to resentment only harms your own peace of mind, not the person who wronged you. Detaching from the offender's actions, recognizing that their betrayal reflects their own character and choices, not yours. Committing to your values, choosing to act with integrity and peace, regardless of how others have acted. This doesn't mean you instantly forgive or forget. It's a process of gradually shifting your focus from the betrayal itself to your own well-being and growth. Holding on to anger and resentment is like carrying a heavy weight everywhere you go. It drains your energy, clouds your perspective, and limits your emotional capacity. Here's why practicing forgiveness is crucial. It frees you from the past. When you refuse to forgive, you remain emotionally tied to the betrayal. Forgiveness severs that tie, allowing you to focus on the present and future instead of being stuck in a loop of pain and bitterness. It protects your peace. Anger and resentment don't hurt the person who betrayed you, they hurt you. Forgiveness is a way of safeguarding your mental clarity and emotional balance. It demonstrates strength and self-mastery. Forgiveness is not weakness. It takes incredible strength to let go of a grudge and rise above the actions of others. By practicing forgiveness, you show that you are not controlled by external events, but by your own values. It prevents a cycle of harm. Unforgiveness can lead to destructive behaviors, such as seeking revenge or harboring mistrust in future relationships. By forgiving, you break the cycle and choose a path of healing instead of harm. How to apply this principle? Reflect on the true meaning of forgiveness. Remind yourself that forgiveness is not about forgetting what happened or letting the other person off the hook. It's a decision to release your anger and focus on what you can control, your inner peace. Use Stoic journaling. Write about your feelings of betrayal and anger, but also explore how holding on to these emotions impacts you. Journaling can help you clarify why forgiveness is in your best interest, even if the person doesn't deserve it. Practice empathy without excuses. Try to understand the other person's actions without excusing them. Were they acting out of their own fears, insecurities, or flaws? This doesn't justify their actions, but it can help you to personalize the betrayal and see it as a reflection of their struggles, not your worth. Set boundaries while forgiving. Forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. You can forgive someone and still choose not to allow them back into your life. Protect your well-being by establishing clear boundaries moving forward. Meditate on forgiveness. Spend time in quiet reflection, focusing on what letting go of resentment could feel like. Visualize the weight of anger lifting off your shoulders, and imagine the freedom and lightness that come with forgiveness. Reframe the experience as growth. Ask yourself, what has this betrayal taught me? And how can I grow stronger or wiser from this experience? Shifting your perspective allows you to extract value from the pain, making forgiveness feel less like a sacrifice and more like a step towards self-improvement. Forgiveness is not about excusing the inexcusable. It's about taking back control of your emotional well-being. As Marcus Aurelius taught, you always have the option of having no opinion. There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul. Forgive for your own sake, not to justify what has happened, but to reclaim your inner peace. By practicing forgiveness, you demonstrate strength, resilience, and the Stoic wisdom of choosing reason over resentment. Reframe the experience as growth. Stoicism emphasizes that life's hardships are not obstacles but opportunities for growth. As Marcus Aurelius once reflected, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. A betrayal, while painful, is one such opportunity to strengthen your character and deepen your understanding of yourself. By reframing the betrayal as a chance to grow, you can transform it from a source of anguish into a stepping stone toward greater emotional resilience and wisdom. Reframing the experience as growth doesn't mean ignoring your pain or pretending the betrayal didn't happen. Instead, it involves viewing the situation through a Stoic lens where each hardship has something to teach us. Here's what this practice might look like. Focusing on lessons learned. Identify red flags you might have missed, patterns in your responses, or areas where you compromised your values. Strengthening boundaries. Use the experience to set firmer limits in future relationships, ensuring they align with your standards. Enhancing self-awareness. Reflect on how you handled the situation and identify any emotional triggers to address. Choosing gratitude for clarity. While betrayal isn't desirable, it can provide clarity about relationships and your needs moving forward. Every experience, especially painful ones, can serve as a guide for personal development. Reframing betrayal as a growth opportunity enables you to take control of your narrative and find purpose in hardship. Here's why this approach is transformative. It transforms pain into purpose. Suffering is inevitable, but the meaning you assign to it is within your control. By viewing betrayal as a growth opportunity, you create purpose out of adversity, ensuring that it strengthens rather than weakens you. It empowers you to move forward. Dwelling on betrayal keeps you tethered to the past, but seeking growth shifts your focus to the future. It empowers you to move forward with intention rather than being stuck in cycles of blame or regret. It builds emotional resilience. Each hardship you overcome equips you with tools for navigating future challenges. Reframing helps you cultivate a mindset that sees difficulties not as insurmountable obstacles, but as chances to become stronger. It clarifies your values. Betrayal often exposes where your values clashed with someone else's actions. This clarity can help you reassert what's most important to you and choose relationships that honor those values moving forward. How to apply this principle? Reflect on the experience. Ask yourself reflective questions such as, what can I learn from this situation? What would I do differently next time? And how has this event clarified my priorities? Journaling your thoughts can provide insights and perspective. Embrace a learning mindset. Approach the betrayal as a lesson rather than a defeat. This doesn't mean dismissing your feelings, but choosing to view the situation as an opportunity for personal development. Focus on self-improvement. Channel your energy into activities that promote your growth, such as practicing emotional regulation, building healthier boundaries, or cultivating gratitude for the relationships that do bring you joy and fulfillment. Develop emotional resilience. Recognize that adversity, while painful, strengthens your capacity to handle future challenges. Use this experience as a way to build mental fortitude and emotional endurance. Celebrate the insights gained. Even in betrayal, there's wisdom to be gained about yourself, others, and relationships. Celebrate the clarity and understanding you've acquired and use it to guide you toward a more empowered future. Commit to new standards. Decide what lessons from this betrayal you'll carry forward. Perhaps it's being more discerning in relationships, voicing your boundaries earlier, or letting go of people who no longer serve your well-being. Reframing betrayal as growth aligns with the Stoic belief that adversity holds the key to transformation. As Marcus Aurelius reminded us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. While you can't change what happened, you can choose what it means for your future. By seeing betrayal as an opportunity to learn and evolve, you reclaim control over your life and chart a path toward greater self-mastery and wisdom. Move forward with purpose. Stoicism emphasizes living with intention and refusing to let past events dominate your future. Betrayal, no matter how painful, can either become a burden you carry or a catalyst for positive change. Marcus Aurelius offers a guiding perspective. What stands in the way becomes the way. Challenges are not barriers but opportunities to shape a meaningful path forward. This principle is about using the experience of betrayal as fuel to craft a life that aligns with your highest values and purpose. Moving forward with purpose doesn't mean pretending the betrayal didn't hurt or brushing it aside. Instead, it involves acknowledging what happened, learning from it, and choosing to focus on the life you want to build instead of the pain you endured. Here's how this principle manifests in daily life. Setting new priorities. Shifting your focus from the betrayal to activities and goals that inspire and energize you. Creating a vision for your future. Defining what fulfillment looks like post-betrayal and taking steps toward it. Redirecting energy into growth. Channeling emotions into pursuits that challenge and elevate you, such as new skills, relationships, or personal projects. Living intentionally. Making deliberate choices that reflect who you are and what you value, instead of letting the past dictate your actions. Why this principle matters. Dwelling on past betrayals traps you in cycles of resentment and regret. Stoicism teaches us to accept what we cannot change and focus on what we can. By moving forward with purpose, you reclaim control over your narrative, creating a life driven by your values rather than the pain inflicted by others. Here are the key reasons this principle is transformative. It reinforces agency. Betrayal can leave you feeling powerless, but purpose restores that sense of control. You're no longer defined by what happened to you, but by how you respond and move forward. It prevents stagnation. The tendency to ruminate on betrayal keeps you stuck in the past. Focusing on purpose pushes you forward, motivating you to actively shape a brighter future. It encourages resilience. By using betrayal as a catalyst for growth, you build emotional and mental strength, demonstrating to yourself that you can rise above hardship and thrive. It helps you create fulfillment. The pain of betrayal can often highlight what's missing in your life. Moving forward with purpose allows you to fill those gaps meaningfully, creating a richer and more satisfying existence. How to apply this principle? Reflect on your goals and values. Betrayal often clarifies what truly matters to you. Use this clarity to redefine your goals and align them with your core values. What kind of life do you want to build from here? Identify a positive outlet for energy. Take the emotions stirred by betrayal, anger, sadness, or frustration, and redirect them into constructive pursuits. Start a new hobby, commit to a fitness goal, or delve into creative projects that align with your vision. Practice visualization. Close your eyes and imagine the future you want to create. See yourself thriving and pursuing goals that matter to you. This exercise can inspire you to take actionable steps toward that reality. Develop daily intentions. Each day, commit to small but deliberate actions that reflect your values. These could include acts of kindness, moments of gratitude, or progress toward a personal goal. Over time, these actions build momentum. Surround yourself with positive influences. Seek out people who align with your values and uplift you. Engaging with supportive communities or mentors can reinforce your purpose and provide encouragement as you move forward. Celebrate progress, not perfection. Recognize the small wins along your journey of moving forward. Each step you take away from the betrayal is a victory and proof of your resilience. Betrayal doesn't have to define you. Your response to it does. By moving forward with purpose, you create a life that reflects not what happened to you, but what you've chosen to make of it. Stoicism reminds us that the obstacles in our path are opportunities in disguise. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Use the experience of betrayal as a catalyst for growth and transformation, turning pain into a foundation for a purposeful, empowered life. Betrayal is deeply painful, but it doesn't have to define you. With the guidance of Stoic philosophy, you can rise above the hurt, maintain your dignity, and emerge stronger than ever. Remember, it's not the betrayal itself that holds power over you. It's how you choose to respond to it. Thank you for watching, and if you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom to help you navigate life's challenges. See you next time.